Christopher Bell back in the Freak Nation was talking to one of your contemporaries. Okay, not one of your contemporaries. He's 20 years older than you. He was talking about how he couldn't stand to be a driver your age going through what you have to go through now. Concerned about sponsorship, concerned about manufacturers, on top of social media. But that's just part of your life now, isn't it? Younger guys in series like this, isn't it?
Yeah, who are you talking about?
Tony Stewart, they're going, there's no way I could survive this.
Yeah, I mean, the social media presence has become unbelievable. And even, I'm a young guy, right? I'm only 29, but whenever I started in the sport, it was not really around. And then over the 10 years or so that I've been here, it's just grown and grown and grown, and now it's everything.
One thing Tony Stewart talked about was when he got into this, all he had to worry about was racing. Again, I guess it's what you're used to coming into it, right? I
have been taught since I very first got in the sport that racing the car, driving the car is a very small part of what your job is. So, you have a lot of people that are spending a lot of money to be associated with you and your team, and it's very important to make sure that you do all the extracurricular stuff to make them feel like they're getting their money's worth.
Jade Abedisian's going to be featured on MAV TV, and part of the concern with her parents was just that funding. Again, sponsorship, manufacturers, working out with Toyota. Have you had a chance to sit down and talk to her to offer any kind of advice?
Honestly, no. Me and Jade are around each other a lot, right? She's in Charlotte now. I'm in Charlotte. We're around each other a lot at the TRD facility, but we're just so busy that we just haven't really connected. So I'm obviously would love to talk to her if she has any questions, but she's doing a great job figuring it out.
Winning a race like you did, of course, at Charlotte, whether it's the full 600 or if it's a rain delay, postponed, cancel, whatever the case may be, it's a monkey off your back that you even talked about when we saw you last. How's your mindset now coming into St. Louis?
I feel good. It was just a pleasant reminder that I and this team, the 20 group, are capable of winning every single week. And it doesn't matter what happens last week. It doesn't matter what happens, the only thing that matters is what's ahead of you and how you perform for what's ahead of you. So Charlotte was a great example of that because we hadn't had any momentum going on our side. And then we showed up at Charlotte with a great race car. My pit crew did a good job, and I drove the car well, and we were able to win the race. So, I feel wholeheartedly that we're here at Gateway now, and we could very easily win on Sunday again.
There's also some talk from a couple other drivers. Christopher Bell would do well in the Indy 500. Does Christopher Bell have any desire to run the Indy 500 or an IndyCar race?
Yeah, I would love to. I love racing anything, and obviously the Indy 500 is a bucket list item for any race car driver. So I would love to give it a shot at some point, but my focus right now is just trying to get my Cup career, I guess is the right term, get my Cup career going in the right direction where I am content with where we're at. So, I have, I think, almost 200 starts now in the Cup Series and 8 wins. So that's not a good track record so far, or not good enough by my standards. So trying to get that thing sorted before I dabble in anything else. 200
race starts, and then 3 or 4 minutes ago you reminded me that you're 29 years old. I still think if you're 22, and then when I hear 200 race starts, that is bananas, man.
Yeah, I don't quote me on the 200 race starts, but I think I remember getting a one. I've hit my 150, so I'm in between 150 and 200, and it is wild. It doesn't feel like I've done that many. It feels like I'm still a second year driver in the series, and I'm on year 5 now. So it is wild how the time goes on, and it's a competitive sport that we're in right now, and it's a very competitive series, and that's making the wins harder and harder to come by, and you have to work hard to elevate yourself to get those wins.
Austin Cindric was talking about how he can let a race go on Monday, move on to the next track.
It's a very specific event that changes my mindset from race to race. We have our Monday meetings, post race every week, and whether if that's with just a 2-car, some specific members of my team, or obviously the entire group with my teammates and kind of administration and kind of engineering group. We kind of debrief that. And then from there, I go do a workout. in the facility at Penske, and it's usually about halfway through my workout, I'm over it. Whatever's happened, good or bad, I'm over it.
Is Christopher Bell the same way? Can you let a race go regardless of how you finished on Monday or Tuesday?
I can't, and I would be surprised if anyone could. Honestly, it's if this means as much to you as it's supposed to, then how can you let it go? And you have to get over it by the time you get into the car the next week, or that's your job to focus on the task at hand. But yeah, I mean, it's hard whenever you're having bad races and bad weeks. They pile on each other, and it's mission critical to not carry your baggage from last week to this week. So. And once again, going back to Charlotte, I feel like that demonstrates that this team is capable of doing that. We didn't have any momentum, and we were able to go out there and put together a great weekend.
Knowing the people that surround you, one, holding the camera over there, you've got a great group of folks, but who's the one person that gets in your ear that can talk you off the ledge or calm you down or pump you up? Do you have several people to pump you up or to bring you down?
Yeah, I mean, I have a good, I don't know what the right term is, a good group around me that can bring me down to earth if I get too big, or help bring me up if I'm on the ground. So yeah, I got a good group of people around me.